Have you ever felt like something was off with someone close to you, but you couldn't quite put your finger on it? Maybe they seem nice on the surface, but deep down you sense a hidden resentment. What if those subtle signs could help you protect your peace and emotional well-being? Understanding these hidden signs of resentment can be life-changing, especially when it comes to relationships that matter the most. In this video, we're diving deep into 5 psychological signs of hidden resentment, signs that are often overlooked or dismissed. These signs aren't always obvious, but once you learn to recognize them, you'll gain a clearer perspective on the relationships in your life. It could save you from unnecessary emotional pain, help you set boundaries, and even help you decide who truly deserves your energy and trust. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot these subtle cues of hidden resentment, how to protect yourself from emotional manipulation, and how to stay focused on your growth without being weighed down by negativity. This knowledge will empower you to safeguard your peace, choose your relationships wisely, and ensure that your emotional energy is spent in healthy, supportive environments. Stick with us to discover how to keep your heart safe and your mind at peace. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. 1. Backhanded compliments. This is one of the clearest yet most frequently overlooked signs that someone's true feelings aren't being fully expressed, and it pains me to say that people often miss it. It's subtle, like a shadow lurking just out of view, but if you pay close attention, it's undeniably there. I'm talking about the backhanded compliment, the weapon of choice for passive-aggressive individuals who want to make a jab without directly confronting you. At first, these remarks might appear as compliments, but when you allow yourself to feel them, you'll sense something entirely different, a sting that cuts deeper than an outright insult ever could. Let me paint you a picture. Wow, you did a good job for once. I wish I had as much free time as you do. You're surprisingly smart. I never expected that. On the surface, it may seem like they're offering praise, but in the pit of your stomach, you can feel that uncomfortable knot. Something doesn't sit right, and that feeling should not be ignored. These words, wrapped in a thin veil of kindness, are laced with judgment and condescension. They're not just questioning your abilities, they're subtly undermining you. And it's all wrapped up in a neat little package that leaves you feeling uneasy and questioning your worth. When you stop to think about it, you realize how manipulative these backhanded compliments can be. They don't openly attack you, no. Instead, they're crafted in such a way that if you call them out, you'd look like the one overreacting. But I'm here to tell you, don't fall for it. It's a tactic used by those who have unspoken resentment bubbling under the surface. They're not brave enough to confront you with their true feelings, so instead, they hide behind these compliments that sting in silence. Jung's perspective on this is spot on. He believes that suppressed emotions have a sneaky way of slipping through the cracks, and these so-called compliments are a perfect example of how negativity manifests in ways that are hard to pin down. It's not as though they're outright attacking you, but deep down, you feel it: the hostility, the disdain, the jealousy, the judgment. It all shows up disguised as something innocent, but it's there, and it's just waiting to catch you off guard. Take a moment to listen, to feel when someone offers you praise that just doesn't sit right with you. Notice how it leaves a lingering taste of bitterness in your mouth, like something isn't quite right. Trust me when I say you're not imagining things. You're not being oversensitive. Your gut is telling you something is off, and it's worth listening to. A backhanded compliment isn't just a harmless slip of the tongue. It's a red flag. It's a sign that something deeper is brewing, something they're not brave enough to say outright, and it's something you need to be aware of. Watch closely for sarcasm disguised as praise, because once you see it for what it is, you'll never let it slide again. 2. Subtle celebration of your failures. Jung truly understood the profound and often underestimated power of the unconscious mind. He recognized that while we may think we have complete control over our emotions and reactions, the subconscious is always working behind the scenes, silently revealing truths we'd rather not acknowledge. It's fascinating, really, how those hidden feelings, particularly resentment, have a sneaky way of showing up when we least expect it, often through the smallest, most subtle actions. It's like a whisper that echoes louder than words, if only we take the time to listen closely. One of the clearest signs of this unconscious resentment is when someone takes pleasure in your struggles, especially when they've been secretly wishing for your failure. It's chilling, but it's true. The moment you stumble, fall short, or face a setback, you might notice an almost imperceptible shift in their energy. It's not the typical response you'd expect from a person who genuinely cares about you. It's not the heartfelt, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. How can I help?" that would come from a supportive friend or colleague. Instead, it's something darker, something you can almost feel in the air, a kind of satisfaction in your discomfort. You might hear them say, "Oh no, that's terrible, but honestly, I kind of saw that coming." Or worse, "That sucks, but hey, maybe it's for the best." It's not just a casual, offhand comment. It's not the sympathy you deserve or the empathy you need. It's a veiled reflection of what's happening beneath the surface, an undercurrent of glee that comes from someone who's secretly been rooting for you to fail, whether they admit it to themselves or not. It's not just a lack of support, it's an almost gleeful acknowledgement that your failure somehow serves them or their sense of superiority. Instead of offering you the comfort or encouragement that any decent person would when you're down, they'll either fake it with hollow words, without any real feeling behind them, or worse, they'll be barely able to hide their hidden amusement at your misfortune. It's a sickening feeling when someone who should be there to lift you instead revels in your discomfort. This reaction is so subtle, so carefully disguised, that you might even question yourself at first. Maybe I'm overthinking it, you might wonder. But no, pay close attention. If you find yourself sensing a sort of twisted satisfaction in their response to your failure, or if they refuse to offer help when you're in need, don't dismiss it. Trust your instincts. There is something deeply wrong, and it's not your imagination. You're dealing with someone who, unfortunately, doesn't have your best interests at heart. Their motives aren't pure, and their so-called concern for your well-being is just a mask for something far more insidious. Watch for these subtle signs. They may be small, but the emotional impact they leave can be anything but. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. 3. Their body language betrays them. Jung, with his deep understanding of the subconscious mind, often emphasized a powerful truth, that what remains unsaid can be just as telling, if not more, than what is spoken. If there's one area where this truth is most evident, it's in the realm of body language. Our bodies, whether we consciously realize it or not, are constantly communicating. They speak volumes about how we truly feel, often revealing emotions and intentions that words try to conceal. It's almost as if the body has its language, a silent language that cannot be ignored, no matter how hard we try to mask it with polite words or empty pleasantries. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever had a conversation with someone who claims to care about you, yet you can't shake the feeling that something is off? Their words may sound kind, even supportive, but their body language, that tells a completely different story. If they're avoiding eye contact with you but easily engaging with others, that's a huge red flag. It's as if your presence, your very being, makes them uncomfortable. They're hiding something, and it's not just in their words, but in how they hold themselves, in how they interact with you physically. And then there's the smile that should radiate warmth and understanding, but instead feels hollow, forced, almost as if they're trying too hard to appear kind. You might notice that their mouth curves upward, but their eyes stay cold, distant, even indifferent. It's like they're performing a role rather than expressing true emotion. That disconnect between the warmth of a smile and the chill in their eyes is a sure sign that their words don't match their true feelings. Even more telling are the subtle shifts in posture and movement. Do they lean away from you when you're talking, as if they're trying to put physical distance between you? Or maybe they cross their arms or place an object between the two of you, creating a literal and metaphorical barrier. These are not random movements. These are the body's way of protecting itself, of keeping you at arm's length, even when their words are trying to tell you something different. Jung would argue that no matter how carefully we try to hide our emotions, our unconscious mind never lies. It leaks out through our body language, betraying the true feelings we are trying to suppress. In the end, we may be able to mask our emotions with words, but the body always tells the truth. So, when someone's words say one thing, but their body speaks volumes of a completely different story, don't ignore the message their body is sending. It's far more honest than anything they might say out loud. And trust me, when you learn to read these silent cues, you'll see the truth clearly, even when others are trying to keep it hidden. 4. Imitating you, but not in a positive way. There's something deeply unsettling about realizing that someone who harbors resentment toward you might begin to mimic your every move. It's not done with admiration, but with an undercurrent of competition and envy, a toxic desire to one-up you. This concept, which is tied to the psychological theory of the shadow self by Carl Jung, highlights how individuals, instead of facing their own insecurities and inner turmoil, project these feelings onto others. When someone secretly despises you or feels threatened by your mere presence, it often stems from their perception of their inadequacies, something that may make them feel inferior in comparison to you. So, what do they do in response to this? Instead of confronting their demons, they begin to mirror you, but not in an innocent or flattering way. They start copying your style, your interests, or even your ideas. At first, it might seem like a coincidence, but as time goes on, you'll realize that they are trying to walk in your shoes, sometimes literally, without any real conversation about it. Perhaps they start dressing like you, not because they admire your taste, but because they want to steal your sense of self. Or maybe they pick up on the hobbies and interests you've always loved, not out of genuine curiosity or appreciation, but because they want to one-up you and prove they're just as good, if not better. The most painful part? They might even steal your ideas and take credit for them, as if they were the ones who birthed these thoughts and concepts. It's as though with every move you make, they're looking for ways to do it better, as if your success is a personal challenge they must overcome. It's an incredibly frustrating and hurtful dynamic to witness, especially because, on the surface, it may look like flattery. In truth, however, it's a manifestation of jealousy, insecurity, and a desperate need to feel superior. It's a reflection of their emotional struggle, one that's cloaked in competitive mimicry. When this happens, it's not just imitation, it's a battle for validation, an attempt to tear down your sense of self and replace it with their twisted version of what they think is the right way to be. You might feel flattered at first, but it's essential to trust your instincts. If someone is copying you in a way that feels more like an attempt to outperform you rather than appreciate you, there's likely something far darker beneath the surface. That resentment, that deep-rooted jealousy, is what fuels their actions. And it's so much more than mere mimicry. It's an attempt to replace you, to overshadow you in ways that go unnoticed by others. It's emotionally exhausting to witness, and it's a reminder that not everyone who mirrors you does so out of love or admiration sometimes. It's because they can't stand to see you shine. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. 5. Disappearing when you need them the most. Jung's insights into psychological projection offer a powerful lens through which we can understand the darker dynamics of relationships particularly when someone secretly harbors resentment toward you. This concept is rooted in the idea that when people have unresolved issues or deep insecurities, they often project those feelings onto others. So when someone resents you, it's not always about you, it's about something in themselves that they can't accept or deal with. What makes this projection so painful is that it's not always obvious to the person doing it, but for you, the recipient, it's an emotional burden you feel deeply. One of the clearest, most telling signs of this projection is their absence when you need them the most. A true friend, one who genuinely cares, will be there for you during life's toughest moments. They'll stand by your side when things get hard, offering support, love, and encouragement. True friendship isn't just about the good times, it's about weathering storms together. But when someone secretly resents you, it's an entirely different experience. They might appear to be a pillar of support when everything is going smoothly, showering you with smiles and compliments. But the moment the situation becomes serious or difficult, they suddenly become ghosts. It's as if their presence is only conditional. If the going is easy, they're there. But the second you face a crisis, they'll find every excuse to disappear. Their excuses will often be vague, yet carefully crafted. "I wish I could help, but I've got too much going on right now," they'll say, as if they're the only ones in the world dealing with challenges. Or worse, they'll claim, "Sorry, I've already made plans," knowing full well that they're not going anywhere. The truth is, when you need them most, they will simply vanish, leaving you feeling abandoned and hurt. It's not that they have too much going on or that they're genuinely busy. It's that they don't want to be there for you because deep down they resent you and cannot bear to offer you the support you've so willingly offered them. This behavior speaks volumes. If you're constantly the one showing up, always the one giving, always there when they need someone, yet when the roles are reversed, they vanish into thin air, that's a huge red flag. It's not just neglect, it's emotional manipulation. They want your support, your understanding, your loyalty, but they won't return it when the tables are turned. It's as if they're testing the limits of your patience and kindness, seeing how much you'll give before you start to question your worth. This dynamic can slowly erode your trust in them, making you feel like your friendship is more of a one-sided transaction than a mutual bond. It's incredibly painful, and yet it's also a reminder that true friendship requires balance, reciprocity, and trust. If you find yourself constantly pouring into someone who never shows up for you in return, it's time to re-evaluate the relationship. Real friends are there when you need them, not just when it's convenient for them. If someone consistently refuses to offer the same support and loyalty they expect from you, then perhaps their affection for you isn't as genuine as it seems. This absence is more than just an oversight. It's a painful sign that they may not truly care about you in the way you deserve. Wow, what an insightful journey we've just taken together. We've explored some deep psychological concepts, from how jealousy and resentment can manifest in the form of competitive mimicry to the painful but telling signs of emotional manipulation, particularly when someone secretly resents you. We've learned how true friendship stands out in times of difficulty and how to spot when someone's projecting their unresolved issues onto you. It's not always easy to confront these truths, but it's important for our emotional well-being and personal growth. So, what have you learned so far? Think about the key lessons from today, whether it's understanding the dynamics of competitive mimicry, the signs of emotional manipulation, or recognizing when you're not getting the loyalty and support you deserve. I'd love to hear from you. Comment below with just one thing you've learned and how you plan to bring it into practice in your own life. It's so important to reflect on these lessons and take action where we can. And if you liked this video, don't forget to leave your comment below, give us a thumbs up, share it with others who may benefit from this conversation, and hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.